Hey everyone. Now the next thing I'm going to set up on my new server is a TFTP server. So I still use TFTP for things like configs from switches, and it's handy to have. So I'll go through how I set that up. Now the program I use is this OpenTFTP server. So the file I want is, let's just go to Files and Single Port, and I want this tar.gz down there. So if I click that, it'll download it to here, but I actually want it on this server. But what I'll do is I'll just copy the download link, but I'll just do it over here. So wget and then that file. I see it's added some stuff at the end. I'll just go back to where it says tar.gz. Okay, so xvf OpenTFTP. There it is. So I've got to build this. If you see in here, that's all that's there. To make it, I'm going to use G++ to compile it. Now, one of the other videos I recently did, I had to build something and I had to install Build Essential first. So if you can't run G++, install Build Essential first. Anyway, G++, and we're using OpenTFTP-D.cpp. Now the output, without a space, is OpenTFTP-D. And I'm also going to link pthread. That's part of the compiling and building thing. So I'll do that, and now I've got OpenTFTP-D, slightly different to up here. I've got an actual one, so I can run that now, but it won't actually do much. So I've got to make a config file. So I'll do that in etc OpenTFTP.ini. I'll just do it there. Okay, get into that. Now the config's pretty simple, and I've got it copied from the previous server I had running. And look at those lovely colors. So that's all there really is to it. I've just got a directory on the hard drive that I mounted called TFTP, and just a username and saying I can, read and write it. So that's it. Okay, so now I'm just going to put that file to somewhere it can run. So copy OpenTFTP-D to user bin. So now I can run it just by using the command. And if I tell it to use the config etc OpenTFTP, it looks like it's running. So if I rep OpenTFTP, you'll see it's running, but it won't quite work. So what will happen, I'll show you. If I go to a switch of mine, let's just go. So if I'm on a switch here and I do something like copy run TFTP blah, it'll struggle. And the reason it's struggling is because TFTP uses UDP port 69. And because that's a port that's less than 1024, you have to have extra privileges to run that. So the normal user, Spicy, couldn't run that. So I have to run that as super user. But that's not going to be a problem because I'm going to set up a startup script to start it when the machine boots. So I'll do that now. And to be honest, before I restart it, I can just have a look. So sudo tcp dump UDP port 69. I can have a look, and if I try and do that again, you'll see the switch was trying to send TFTP to the server, but there's not any response at all. So it's not a response of you can't write to this directory, it's just no response, and that's also a giveaway that it wasn't actually listening. So anyway, I'll set it up to run at boot time. So I'll just copy what I'm actually going to run here and go to my etc initd. And what I'll do is I'll copy one of the old ones. So sudo copy udpxy to tftpd. tftpd. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I'll put that sleep in there just to make sure the network's all up as it boots up. Anyway, I'll put the full path in, user bin, OpenTFTP, blah, blah, blah. That should work. Okay, then I've got to make it run. So sudo update rc tftpd defaults. So now it should run after reboot. Okay, it's rebooted. I'll try that again. It might also be a situation where that 5 seconds wasn't long enough. So let me try it. Okay, so I think the problem is that 5 second delay I gave it might not have been enough. So where was it? etc init.d pi open TFTPD. This 5 seconds here. I'll give it a bit longer to make sure it boots. Okay, so it's rebooted. I'll see if it works this time. Boom, done. Okay, so it just needed a little bit of delay to make sure everything was up and running before it tried to run. So that's what the problem was. So now if I go to that directory, TFTP, you can see the file that I just copied from the switch. So there it is. All right, so that's a TFTP server, and it's just handy to have for all sorts of things when you're doing config and stuff. So anyway, that'll do. Till next time, take it easy.